Good afternoon from Harare, Zimbabwe, and good evening from Dhaka, and good night or good morning from wherever you are. You may be joining in the social network. So our session number 5 on day 1 has been an impactful day so far with a lot of interesting topics. But the last session is also jam-packed with personalities in the climate exchange arena. So our theme is the climate action in East Africa, and the moderator is our dear own Christina Jager, the co-founder and managing director of Yunus Environmental Hub. She has been working with Professor Yunus for over 10 years now. And this session description, if I can say so myself very briefly, it will focus on linking concrete projects in East Africa, or specifically on the climate action. And it aims to provide insightful perspectives, some sustainable and climate-related projects to inspire and engage the audience with personal stories, some of the challenges faced on the ground, and their overall dedicated impact the impact they have on climate change in terms of their work on the ground and on the post office doing research. So without further ado, I welcome Christina on board. Christina, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Shihab, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening to the audience from wherever you are watching us. It's a great pleasure to welcome you to the session about climate action in East Africa. Yunus Environmental Hub is the global social business network creating solutions for the environmental crisis, and we run many support programs for social business entrepreneurs around the world. We also help organizations to use social business as a tool to address environmental issues. And in East Africa, we have been active in the entire region through our program, A Brighter and Greener Future for East Africa's Youth, particularly focusing on providing support tools for young people to create jobs while addressing environmental issues in various areas that are related to the climate crisis, to the environmental crisis, such as addressing sustainable waste management, creating a circular economy, around renewable energies, sustainable agriculture, and many others. Just 2 days ago, we had a demo day event for another program that is called Circular Ethiopia, that was particularly focused on promoting a circular economy in Ethiopia. And we had 5 pioneering social business entrepreneurs that underwent a mentoring program who were presenting and pitching their social business ideas to an audience of ecosystem players, including private, public sector, investors, other incubators, to receive feedback and also to connect them to further grow their ideas and ventures. And also with this session today, we want to give inspiration to young people by showcasing youth entrepreneurs who are already committed and doing climate action through their social business ventures, and also want to highlight some of the support programs that are out there. At the end of the session, we will announce Yunus Environmental Hub's youth entrepreneurship program in East Africa. So make sure to stay connected until the end of the session to not miss out on that. And without any further ado, I would like to jump right away into the discussion to present our distinguished panel of speakers, to get started with the discussion and provide the room for our distinguished panelists to share their experiences and their stories with us. To get started, I would like to welcome Hassan Ibrahim, who is the youth leader of the Big Ship Environmental Organization in Mombasa, Kenya. Hassan and we met about 2 months ago in Mombasa when we were visiting your activities where you're engaging the youth in waste collection and waste recycling, which is a very present and urgent issues, since we have many countries and many places where waste management services are underserved, leading to waste, especially plastic waste leakage into the environment, affecting life on land, life below water once they reach the ocean, causing tremendous impacts on our ecosystems, as well as greenhouse gas emissions from unmanaged dump sites. And Hassan, please tell us how you're engaging and how you're motivating the youth to work on address such a timely and important issue, and how this is related to social business and youth entrepreneurship. Hassan, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. As Christina has introduced me, I'm Ibrahim Hassan from Kenya, working with a community-based organization that is involved in environmental conservation. I'm really happy to be in this platform. I think when I was in high school, I read about Professor Mohammed Yunus, and it is actually a great pleasure to be here with you and the rest of the panel.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Can you raise up the volume a little bit, because volume is too low? Is it so for everybody else?
Yes, it's too low.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
now?
sir, it's low.
Am I audible now?
Yes, now it's great. Now it's okay.
Okay, enough. Is it enough?
Yes, please go
Yeah.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. So my first point I would wish to tell you is that we're actually from a city that is basically around 80% water, and then some few percentage of the land, that is the southeastern part.
The volume is disappearing again. You have to adjust the microphone somehow.
Yeah, just a minute.
You have to bring it closer to your mouth.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Good. And I will never want you not to hear me.
No, no way.
So I was just trying to give a synopsis of where I come from. Actually, it's a county in Kenya where we are closer to a water body, and this is like 70% water and around 30% land. And also we are surrounded by formal settlements. So the idea of waste management is actually one of the very, very strong issues that as youth are looking into, taking into account that the city thrives on two things. One is the maritime sector, and the other thing is tourism. So as a youth coming from those areas, we were actually looking into how we can empower the youth and make our environment extremely clean, because we really depend on it. So we decided to look into the issues of waste management with a key focus on how we can improve on resource recovery. But what we were introducing, like what was actually more unique, it was the idea that we wanted to develop a franchise, a model whereby youths can pick up and run with. Because before then, youths were just doing waste management in their own way, like how they viewed it. Like, this is a problem. We have less collection rate. The people are disposing their waste anyhowly, and whenever there are rains, all the waste goes into the marine ecosystem. So we looked into what every youth was doing across the county, and we realized we could standardize that. So we wanted to come up with a model. We actually developed something called RECO. RECO as in RECO. Before that, people were just of the idea of picking waste from one point and dumping it in another point. But we had to develop a new image of doing things. And this image is focusing on how we can view waste as a resource. And in that, we decided to develop the idea of RECO, which is RECO for resource collection. So you find out that we are developing kind of a franchise, a model that can be used across the county, and particularly within the low-income neighborhood, where we have a big challenge in terms of the services for waste management. These areas actually don't receive good service in terms of waste management. So we developed a model that could actually bring youth. First, we create the awareness that we need to live in a very clean and healthy environment. And then two, we train them on what is actually required in terms of what they should do with the waste they recover, the waste that they collect from generators. And three, we try to provide it like inputs. So currently, I would say our county was facing a major challenge in terms of the collection services. As I'm speaking, still we have that challenge persisting, but with the introduction of this franchise model, we have more youth willing to pick up the model and run up with, because that model is it is easy for them to understand it, and then it's easy for them to pick it up taking into account that we have an issues of the licensing, the laws, and most of these youths are from the low-income neighborhood. So for us, we build the model from top up, where we are looking into the issues of law, the compliancy, and where they should actually take the waste once it is collected, what should be recovered, where is the market, how they should access the market, and we develop all that into like an A to Z way of doing things, so that as the youths are doing from one corner of the county, it can be replicated in another corner of the county. So currently, as I'm speaking, is that we have a good number of youths that have actually picked this idea. So our work is actually to make sure that they know what the model is all about, how it operates from one point to the other. And the other thing is how we are putting an emphasis on resource recovery. So there's the garbage collection as a service they're providing to the generator. And two, there's the resource recovery, whereby we want most of this waste that is collected, that is being recovered. And then we provide a market link where we give information in terms of where is the market for these resources that you guys are recovering. How is the market? What are the opportunities in terms of the resource recovery? So we have gained a very good interest from the number of them, taking into account that most of these youth are actually not, I would say that the level of education is not that, the level of education is a little bit lower. So it's like we develop something that is easy for them to understand, to pick it up and move up with. And then we also connect them with the county government, because we also bring in the government for them to understand that whatever these youths are doing can actually be integrated into the formal system of managing waste. So we now have an opportunity whereby before we introduced this model, the youths were like working in friction with the county government, but now they're actually complementing the government effort. And by doing that, we have an environment that is actually cleaner. And also we are creating a lot of employment opportunity for these youths. So currently the county government is looking into how they can take that model and actually scale it up. That's why I think when we met with Christina, because the idea was to look into how this model is operating and how can we actually scale it up. And one most important thing we've been actually advocating for is how can we integrate technology, like the phone. The phone can actually play a very important role in terms of tracking the waste from where it is being generated to where it is being taken. So we have these youths very, very excited about how that phone can play the magic in between. Like they are easily able to see from the comfort of their palm through their phone, who are these clients that we are serving? When did we serve them last? How much did we give the service to? And it is easier for them also to track their clients, easier for them to track where the source of the market for the recyclable is, and it is making their work easier in terms of credit management also. When do you go to a client and look for like ask for the money for the services that you actually offer them? So I think I will leave it there for now, and then if there are any questions, I can pick it from there and expand more.
Thank you, Hassan. Thank you so much. Excellent summary. I think there are like 3 key points that you mentioned that are so important. First, the awareness creation, then the capacity building amongst the youths, and then making sure and setting up a business model that is sustainable, that can be scaled and replicated. First within Mombasa, but then eventually it could also be taken to other places. And this is exactly where you mentioned where we met. Since we are bringing our Zero Plastic Waste Cities initiative to Africa, we are trying to see on how we can plug in the existing players that are already in the ecosystem, take the good case examples, and multiplicate that around the first city, and then expand it to other places. So keep the good work up, Hassan, and we are looking forward to working with you in Kenya on that. Thank you very much. That brings me to our next speaker, which is Tam Phan, who is the venture building manager for Yunus Environmental Hub in Vietnam, where we first implemented the Zero Plastic Waste City program. And I would like to ask Tam to come forward to tell us a little bit about the overall program, highlighting how the youth has been involved and how youth entrepreneurship can be fostered throughout that program particularly. Tam, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Christina, and hello from Vietnam. It's my greatest pleasure and honor to be here to participate in such a meaningful section about climate change as part of the forum in East Africa. So within the time constraint, I would be very happy to share my experience and knowledge from the local point of view about climate change, about the Zero Plastic Waste Cities project that Yunus Environmental Hub is implementing in Vietnam and also in India. The third subject I would also share with all of the audience about youth engage, how the youth are engaged and empowered in Vietnam, and how the Vietnamese government is recognizing the youth as a very meaningful and powerful national human asset in lots of activities and initiatives directly addressing to environmental issues and circular economy, job creations, etc. So I prepared some slides to better give you an overview of the Zero Plastic Waste Cities project and also the other two subjects. I'm going to share my screen with all of you now. Can you all see the screen?
Yes.
Yep. All right.
You may put it into presentation mode because we see it.
Okay. Sorry. Just.
If it's not working, you can also continue like that. We still see the screen.
Okay, is it good now, Christina? Maybe I just continue.
It's not in the presentation mode, but you can continue, Tam. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So to give you an overview about the Zero Plastic Waste Cities, as Christina mentioned before, so Yunus Environmental Hub is implementing Zero Plastic Waste Cities projects in 2 countries, in India and Vietnam. And with successful feasibility studies in 2019, so since 2020, we officially started the project in Vietnam, and this project is co-financed and supported by the Alliance to End Plastic Waste. And the global team of Yunus Environmental Hub also conducted feasibility studies in East Africa to replicate the project model. And it's also to create opportunities to replicate the project in under the social business model in Vietnam, in other areas in Vietnam and other countries. So you can see here in the map that Tân An city, a municipality level, it is in southern Vietnam, not too far from Ho Chi Minh City. And here is another slide about the Alliance to End Plastic Waste. As you can see, this project is part of National Plastic Action Partnership and NPAP. The shortened form is NPAP, and NPAP is part of GPAP, Global Plastic Action Partnership, and it is the initiative launched by the Ministry of Environmental Resources and of Natural Resources and Environment, and also World Economic Forum. And it's also a great news. It's also great news that Vietnam is one of the 3 countries that pioneered the initiative and launched the initiative. And the Vietnamese government is very committed to tackling plastic waste reduction and circular economy. So this is the standing point of the Zero Plastic Waste City project in Vietnam. The photo here shows you the launching event of NPAP Vietnam, just happening last year, December last year. Besides the Zero Plastic Waste City project, I forgot to mention with you before about the objectives of the Zero Plastic Waste Cities project. So globally and also locally, there are three important objectives that we are aiming at. One is plastic reduction and environmental protection. And secondly, it is awareness, raising awareness of people about environmental issues and plastic waste pollution. So through the project, we also offer job creations and foster the economic development through the social business model. So the idea is to set up a factory in plastic recycling and tackling environmental issues in a way that the social business would be operating sustainably, financially sustainably. And through that, we would also engage the youth in that aspect into vocational training programs and into lots of other activities that are linked to business activities. Here, there is another project that Yunus Environmental Hub also is also implementing in Vietnam. It's setting up plastic collection stations and plastic education stations. Through this project, we partner with women's unions, local authorities, and also youth unions from schools, from universities, and other corporates in the local communities. So this project is very community-based, and it creates lots of opportunities for young people and for other interested local people to get directly engaged. Another breakthrough about this project and also refreshing idea, which is also adapting to the situation in Vietnam now, is applying digital tools. So through this project, we are also applying digital tools in plastic waste traceability and plastic waste sourcing procedure. So you can see that in Vietnam, like more information about youth-led activities and initiatives in Vietnam. So in the nation, the youth are considered a very important human force, because they represent hope, they represent energy, and also daring actions in Vietnam. So from all levels of authorities and administration, they are always forms of youth unions. So youth unions and young people with their energetic and contagious actions, they are very much aware about climate change, environmental protection. So it's very active participation from young people in Vietnam, and the government is also very encouraging young people to get engaged, and they also create opportunities to empower the youth through climate action. So you can see that there are many green ambassadors and youth entrepreneurs, also growing trees, cleaning up, Vietnam Clean Up, and many organizations are also was also established and run by the youth and young people with lots of initiatives. Also, I would share with you more examples in a way that Yunus Environmental Hub activities in Vietnam are creating opportunities to engage and empower the youth. So one of our stakeholders in Vietnam currently is School Lab Asia, and School Lab Asia is an innovation hub, and their mission is to connect young people, especially students from university and colleges, with corporates and with other organizations, including social businesses and NGOs. And annually, they organize lots of events, and we are also, like, on behalf of Yunus Environmental Hub, I also had the chance to participate in, for example, this is one event that I participated last year as one of the coaches and judges of a prototype sprint, which included 15 students from university. These students came up with initiatives and eco-friendly and sustainable products in response to requests from corporates, such as from restaurants or hotels or other companies that they are having some problems about environmental impacts, and they want to seek solutions. So the students came up with 4 products to present to the coaches, and very happy memories that our team won the first prize, and we won the first pitch voted by all of the audience and the other judges. One more stakeholder and also partner of Yunus Environmental Hub is Good City Foundation, and last year we also participated in the Future City Summit and also the public-private partnership in youth development program. So through these activities and partnership, we are also connected with and supporting, sharing stories and ideas to empower and to engage youth communities and also other local social ventures. One more.
Sam, in the interest of time, can you?
Yes, I'm going to conclude soon.
Thank you.
So another example is we are considering, and this is also consideration, but we are very potentially partnering with TVET program. So it's a joint Vietnamese-German technical cooperation program on engaging the youth, students from vocational schools and colleges in the areas that Yunus Environmental Hub is operating. One more example on Saigon Campus Hub to show you a vibrant atmosphere and ecosystem in Vietnam. Like Saigon Campus Hub also offers many events and dialogues to engage young people and other stakeholders to share experiences and insights into community building activities and initiatives. Before I wrap up, so I'm just sharing with you one quote from the Deputy Prime Minister of Vietnam. It's quite a firm quote about Vietnamese government commitment in environmental protection. So during the launching date of NPAP, the Deputy Prime Minister emphasized that Vietnam is not trading the environment for developed economy or for economic benefits. So this is a very strong statement and commitment from Vietnam. So I'm going to conclude now, and thank you very much for your listening attentively, and feel free to ask questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tom, for your insightful presentation. I think it gave a very thorough overview of the different aspects of our Zero Plastic Waste City program, with a particular focus on the engagement in youth, and also giving some examples and inspirations that can be replicated elsewhere. Thank you so much, Tom. Next, I would like to move to Ethiopia and welcome our speaker, Yedidya Damtev, who is the founder of 2 social businesses already. She founded Aklil and Shepa socks using bamboo fibers. And please tell us a bit more about your entrepreneur journey and how you are contributing to climate action.
Okay. Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank the Yunus Centre and the Yunus Environmental Hub for organizing this session for us to for the youth and for us to share our experience as a learning platform. And starting, and also before starting this journey, I remember reading the books from Professor Muhammad Yunus on the 3 zeros and about a world without poverty, and they were such an inspiration for me when taking an inspiration to take on the lesson learned to my business model. So it's really a pleasure to be part of this and to see Professor Muhammad Yunus, even though it's virtually. So thank you so much. Just to give you a highlight on why I founded Shiba Socks and Aklil is that I was doing my thesis paper on bamboo resource, and before that I was looking for a topic that are very social and environmental, economical, and that could contribute to environmental impact in Ethiopia. And I read an article about it on the newsletter about the bamboo resource that we have here in Ethiopia, but it's underutilized. And the more I read about it, the more I wanted to do and learn about this resource. And I did my thesis paper on it so that to educate myself around it. So while I was doing that, one of my finding, and according to the finding of the literature reviews of many writers, the resource itself, especially in Ethiopia or in other developing countries as well, could perceived as a poor man's resource, and people just do just a small house, or it's just a small furniture out of it, and people don't usually tend to, more people don't tend to spend money on buying product made from bamboo. So that was one of my findings based on my thesis paper, and that also gave me a challenge on and then I wanted to put that into practice, and I wanted to see what I can create, and in order to create a bold statement where people could also be inspired that oh, this resource could be other thing other than furniture, and then they be willing to give attention to this resource. So that was my goal on finding Shiba Socks. So Shiba Socks is as a company that actually fuse heritage and environmental ethics into an everyday essential. So that means we make Shiba Socks. We make socks out of bamboo, and the socks also comes with Ethiopian and African heritage inspired design. So so with that, I think the reason that I actually choose socks is, other than that I told you, like to create that bold statement, like where bamboo could be also other than that a small house or furniture, is that it's an everyday essential that everyone usually wear every day. And I felt like it could be a means to communicate about environmental issues and create that awareness for people, and they could be inspired enough to actually take environmental action themselves every day. So that was the concept behind the establishment of Shiba Socks. And I think in terms of that, we actually did a good thing, good and got a good traction about it, because we start noticing that people that we interact with, the youth that we also interact with, they were curious about it. They start asking questions about bamboo resource and the benefit, and we were also got the chance to educate about the bamboo resource and how it can benefit the environment, and that gives us a chance to, I feel like that gives us a chance to talk more about this resource, and I think that's a good traction for us, and also they are also inspired enough to tell people and like bring their friends and family and talk about this socks, and that is how we want it to be. And they also got inspired, and they keep coming back to us and asking us like, what are the other resources, the other product that you have, what do you make out of this, like do you have other things? And that also gave me the courage and to also establish Aklil, which is also now currently working on researching and developing unique bamboo product out of accessory products out of bamboo. So we are now able to share like rugs, cushion, towels, and throws for people to also share that with their family and friends. So I think overall, this is the highlight of our company and what we've been doing so far. But going forward, so far what we've done is about prototyping, about identifying the market, about creating awareness in terms of bamboo resource that we have here and in terms of the product used. But going forward, we also wanted to integrate with Aclean. We aim to integrate more people to work with us and to be more creating more campaign in terms of bamboo products and integrating and working toward with different peoples and different countrysides when it comes to in regarding to the use of bamboo resource. So I think this is a highlight about my companies. And
thank you so much. This is so inspiring, and I would love to listen longer to you. And but in the interest of time, I will move to the next speaker now, and just want to congratulate for what you have achieved, and wishing you good luck for the future to come. I think you're an amazing example for using a resource and applying this into a product, and providing job creation while addressing an environmental issue. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, next I would like to ask to come forward Tabiba Yandoro. He is the Africa Partnerships Lead at Impact Hub Global, based in Harare, Zimbabwe, where this forum is being hosted. Tabiba, welcome to the session. Impact Hub is working across several countries in East Africa, and Impact Hub is connecting people. You run many support programs for social business entrepreneurs. Can you give us some examples of the programs that you have implemented that support youth entrepreneurship as well as climate action?
Yeah, thanks very much, Christina. And thanks very much for the invite to this event. Really great to be connecting with you all from the host city. Nice to see the live audience is joining us as well. As Christina mentioned, Impact Hub is a global network of entrepreneurial communities, capacity building programs, and basically social business advocates. I think there's a lot of synergies and partnerships that already exist between us and the Yunus Centre and the Yunus Social Business. So really glad to be joining the call as a partner today as well. Within our network, I think we've had a lot of discussion about how best to address the climate crisis, basically. And I think given that we're now located in about 100 cities across the world, more than 55 countries, and many of those kind of local impact hubs operate quite independently. There are many different initiatives that have sort of popped up across the globe. But one which I think is super exciting and that I wanted to share with the audience and panelists today is one called Accelerate 2030. And I've just put the link to that program in the chat. It's essentially a global program in which we're connecting entrepreneurs from across our network and a little bit outside of our network as well, helping them through the acceleration process and ensuring that they can connect to one another, and then eventually taking them to a sort of global event where they can pitch in front of investors and other partners to help them to grow and scale. And the reason why I bring it up is because it's an initiative that had originally started at our Impact Hub Geneva in Switzerland, but is now spread across the globe. And I think this year it'll include 25 countries in East Africa. That'll include Rwanda and Tanzania, but other countries sort of as well across the region. And something that we're thinking about a little bit differently this year as opposed to other years is that we actually wanted to integrate circularity programming and training within the capacity building program as well. So similar to what Yunus Environment Hub is doing, we're trying to do a little bit of the same. I think, yeah, good ideas are good to expand and integrate into other initiatives. So we're really looking forward to seeing how that goes. We don't have tons of knowledge of how to do it, so we're trying to engage various partners like Yunus and others, basically to help us to figure out how we could best deliver this kind of programming. But it's a very exciting time for us, and this is just the first initiative that's going to be taking on this kind of circularity angle this year, but we hope to expand and integrate that knowledge into the rest of our network as well, and actually have it be a real staple of all of the capacity building programs that we have available to entrepreneurs. So I'll keep it short and just say that for now. Hopefully you can check out the link and apply. I believe the applications are open until May 31st. But yeah, looking forward to seeing you within the program and hopefully in other forums as well in the future.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And we are there to support your programs on circularity, and look forward on working together with you on this behalf. I think it needs collaboration to address climate and environmental issues. So the more the merrier, and we are very open for all kinds of collaborations. Thank you, Tapiwa. All right, this brings me now to our final panelist, which is Sohail Ahmed. He is the Managing Director of Grameen Shakti, that I think many of you know. It is one of the social businesses that Professor Muhammad Yunus has founded in Bangladesh, which has grown into the largest renewable energy company based in the rural areas of Bangladesh. And that is also expanding its program internationally. And I would like to ask Sohail to come forward to tell us a bit what he is currently up to, and also if there are any plans for expanding to East Africa, for example, and also how youth entrepreneurship is connected to Grameen Shakti.
Good evening from Dhaka. Thank you, Christina. I think it's a very timely event, and the topic is extremely befitting with the current situations of Africa. Renewable is the tool through which you can attain the climate goals. And I happen to be the member of one UN Energy Committee. I just shared a few data to show the importance of the, those initiatives what we are taking today. The current, if you look at the SDG 7, there are two main pillars, which is one of which is the access to electricity, other is improve cooker stoves or the safe cooking. In terms of the access to electricity, the average access to electricity has reached to 90%, while the Africa has still in 43%, meaning the coverage of the electricity in Africa or access to electricity in Africa is 43%, out of which is 28% is called not reliable electricity. We all know about the 2030 goal. The SDG 7 being set to reach certain goals by 2030. The world is talking about it. But as per the present estimate, there will be 600 million people left behind, half of which would be in Africa. Similarly, if we look to the clean cooker stoves, the world stands in, there is in terms of the clean cooker stove, there are, the world is lagging behind. The achievement they have in access to energy is not same for the clean cooker stoves. Globally, the access to clean cooker stoves is 60%, whereas in Africa, it is 16%. It's being found that 2.3 billion people will be left behind by 2030. And again, the majority would be in Africa. So we know how important these sessions are, how important those initiatives are today. To start with the Grameen Shakti, it all started when Professor Muhammad Yunus understood that energy is one of the main impediment for the growth of the country. Started doing few trial in 1995, started with the 20 solar home system, then 100 solar home systems. Then in 1996, the Grameen Shakti being established. Thereafter in 2004, the government has taken interest in the program, the administrator being set. The other partners started joining to implement this program. And if you look at Bangladesh, Bangladesh is the largest solar home system, land of largest solar home system in the world. Grameen Shakti itself established 1.8 million solar home systems. And not only that, we also distributed 1 million improved cooker stoves and constructed more than 35,000 biogas plants. The company started with a very simple goal, to create access to energy. Now, if we look at this 1.8 million, as you said, introduced as the largest rural-based solar company in Bangladesh. As per our understanding, this is in fact the largest rural-based company in the world. And if you look at the total world installation, which is something around 8 million solar home systems, the percentage would have around 20%, which is largest acquired by any company in the world. Just a little bit to talk about how we look into our activities. We start looking at everything with a very simple advice of Professor Yunus. You look at a problem and then just resolve it. So today we are involved in different programs, but we take three distinctive approach to go out with those programs. One, we look at how to solve this problem. Like you have a problem to access to electricity, you install solar home system, but that's not all. Once we have a solution, then we look for building up a sustainable model, the social business model around to that, because it's not a one-off kind, so that it should not be a one-off kind of thing. You get some grants, some supports, assistance, and then you install, and then once it's over, it is over. No. So we go and find out that sustainable solution, there's business model, the social business model, which will stay. And then as a company, we don't stick around and start doing or implementing everything by us. We started creating those models and spin it off so that the entrepreneurs, the people can involve. If you look about the social business, if you talk about the social, the solar home system, you could talk about, so there are so many companies around to that. There are battery manufacturers, there are solar module manufacturers, the cable manufacturers. But we not only look at those large manufacturers, we also look at the grass level people. I'll just give one example. Grameen Shakti created a unit called GTC, Grameen Technology Center, which is completely involved by the women. There were about 100 women technicians or diploma engineers. They used to go and train the rural people and create rural-based technicians. When you have millions of solar home systems, there are a lot of repair jobs. There are, option of manufacturing small electronics. So these women started going and repairing those solar home system, producing those small electronics. So it's not only the large established producer or company, but you also look at the grassroots level and create those small entrepreneurs. So this is how we look at it. Talking about the current situation, currently, the solar home system program is being discontinued because the country has reached almost 98% of the access to electricity. But then there is a question of the sustainability, the quality of the electricity. The definition has changed today. We started with the access to energy. Now the definition has changed to the universal access to energy. Many of us have heard about the universal income. There is a certain universal basic income we talked about today. The concept is their universal basic energy. So when you talk about the access to energy, it's only a binary definition. But then when you talk about the universal basic energy, it includes the livelihood, includes the, the productive use of the energy and all that. That's what we are looking at today. We are creating different programs. Today, we have several programs running on, one of which is the eco-village development, which create small villages which create the homes with appliances, with utilities that will give you the net carbon. From a net carbon home, you replicate on multiple to a village, and then from there, you may take it to a country. So that's a Danish funded project where 4 countries are involved. We are working a project called peer-to-peer electricity. That's the United Nations funded project. That is more to for the sustainability of the solar home system that we have created, and to optimize the electricity generated by those grid. So this peer-to-peer electricity enable people having solar home system, or even not having solar home system, to trade electricity generated by the houses who has solar home system, and creating prosumers and the consumers. As per our understanding, the off-grid in Bangladesh, we have established the first off-grid solar prosumers. We are also engaged in different other programs. We are a member of the We Power, which is a forum which promotes women in the energy sector. We are engaged in a forum called Energy Transition Platform, consisting of the 10 countries, 7 countries, the SAARC, then Afghanistan, China, and Myanmar, which is basically advocacy role for the governments to have a fossil fuel, country. So what we do is we kept on involving, creating concept at one side, and try to implement, try to partner with people, with the international agencies to create proof of those concepts, so that this could be replicated, this could become, the business models. At the same time, we have certain established business model which we're carrying out, and then the programs, the milestones we have achieved, to consolidate on those. Like I said, we started with the access to energy, and now we are moving out the universal basis access to energy. So again, to conclude, that's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
Yeah, to conclude, the final statement is, what are the 3 things we are doing? We are creating different concepts. Again, I'll refer to this simple advice of Professor Yunus. You look at a problem and create a solution. So that's what we're doing. Mostly we're looking at the cooking and the other options, the EV charging. So we are working on this concept and trying to establish this business model. At the same time, we're implementing certain project. We are trying to make get to the unit economics, establishing those business models, and as well as the programs, the milestones we have achieved. We're trying to consolidate those and taking it to the next level. These are the 3 things we are up to now. Thank you very much.
Amazing, Zoa. Thank you so much. Great advice and recommendations, and always very inspiring to learn from the Grameen examples from Bangladesh. Thank you so much to all of the speakers for sharing your stories, for sharing your experiences, and for providing really valuable advice. We have come to the end of our session. I just would like to make a very quick announcement. It has already been posted in the chat that Yunus Environmental Hub has an opening for a program for young people to support them during an 8 weeks course, an online course to develop social business plans. It's a course that is offered on a rolling basis, and the next course registration deadline is on the 18th of April. Please go and check out the website, why start now, and sign up if you have a social business idea addressing an environmental issue and you want to develop it into a social business model, then please go there and apply. It's also open for anyone who would like to mentor a social business entrepreneur. You can also go there and apply on the same link. Thank you very much. And with this, I would like to hand over to Professor Mohammed Yunus for the concluding remarks.
Well, congratulations. It's a wonderful session. Everybody participated in a very concrete way. Thank you, Tapiwa, and also Tampan, and Hassan Ibrahim, and of course, Sohail. And thank you, Christina, for doing excellent work, bringing all these issues together. There's lots of lessons to learn from the discussions we have. I hope we can continue to have this network among ourselves on this energy and also environmental issues and so on. Continue to do that. So this is a good beginning, and we had get to know each other. And I'm very impressed by the bamboo socks. That's I must mention
No
that.
problem.
Yes, indeed. Wonderful. I will look forward to seeing it myself. How does it work?
Perfect.
Thank you. We had a
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Would
we
you
will
a
get
big
you some
hug?
socks, Professor Yunus.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yunus, for your.
Christina, not only for Professor Yunus, we are also here.
All right.
All right.
Then I'm
for
here
everyone.
as well.
All of us. Okay.
You did, yeah, for everyone.
For the entire
For
Grameen family,
everyone.
Christina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You will reach your benchmark very soon, sooner than expected.
Right.
Thank you,
Thank
Professor
you.
Yunus, for those lovely concluding remarks. Thank you, Christina, and thank you to all the panelists at the Climate Action session, Tam Pham, Hassan Ibrahim, and Mr. Damtu Tapiwa, and Mr. Sohail Ahmed Bhai as well. So that concludes the exciting day one of our Social Business Forum in East Africa for Youth Empowerment. It has been a pretty hectic day. Kudos to everyone who has joined all the sessions. But first and not the least, I would like to give a vote of thanks to the physical session that has been happening in Harare all throughout the day. Please give a round of applause to the Catholic University of Zimbabwe for hanging in there.
Thank you. Physical.
Aziz Bhai, if you can show a quick video cap of there we go. Fantastic. All the enthusiasm in Harare. I just want to let everybody know that they were the first YSBC in Africa who in charge of spreading Professor Mohammed Yunus's vision on social business. Thank you so much, guys, from the bottom of our hearts. It truly means something to see your support all the way from Dhaka, Bangladesh. And not only us, globally, all our friends and family, the Yunus umbrella, all the organizations are seeing it. So very much appreciated.
Big applause for you.
Thank you so much. I can see the juice bottles that have been finished on beside you. The water bottles are done. So just as at the right time that our show is also over for the day one. Just to recap, we had I think 5 sessions. The first session was insights on from East Africa from the social business academia network point of view. The second session was the creative industry for Africa for youth entrepreneurship. The third was the effect of COVID pandemic on social businesses in East Africa. And the fourth one was social business and sport. And the final one, which you just witnessed today, climate action in East Africa. And the participating organizations was Yunus Centre, Grameen Creative Lab, Yunus Social Business, Yunus Sports Hub, Yunus Environmental Hub, accordingly. Tomorrow, it's still a jam-packed session. We will be starting with a 3 Zeros Club session where Professor Yunus himself would be there. It is one of his latest ideations on promoting social business across all communities. And then we will have another session called Building a Social Impact Ecosystem with YY Ventures, one of our partners. And then there will be a series of parallel workshops. So there will be 5 or 6 parallel workshops that will be happening at the same time. So me and my co-MCs, will be giving instructions on how to sign up for these workshops. There is a separate link, my friend, that you have to sign up to in order to be in these workshops. There's a drop-down list, and there you go. There are these 6 workshops in front of you. One is even interesting than the other. I will not go into the details. Tomorrow we will have a fresh review of it. So looking forward to see everyone at these workshops. And also just a quick reminder, bring all your friends, bring all your co-workers, bring all the naysayers, and even all the profit-making companies. They also needs a lesson or two sometimes. So the more the merrier. And after the parallel workshops end, we have a session on healthcare and technology, followed by another one on potential on microfinance in East Africa. So it will be a jam-packed day for day 2. Thank you for everyone. Thank you to everyone who has been joining us, who has been listening to us patiently. It was an exciting exchange of ideas. We are keeping notes as much as our hands could write on. And on behalf of Professor Mohammed Yunus and the entire team at Yunus Centre and all our affiliates, have a good evening, ladies. Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Laman. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Catholic University of Zimbabwe. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.